Is that you, man? God damn. Is that Jonathan? What's up, man?
Good. How are you doing? I've seen your videos.
Right on.
Okay, this is what happened. Okay, there's today we've been having, kind of conflict. Okay, they have a city or not a city order, but like a quiet time from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I'm in the cabin 16. She's in 24, but she'll sit out and smoke a cigarette and play her phone real loud after it's quiet time. I go to the office and tell staff. Everybody bitches and complains. Oh, you're going to staff. Why can't you go to me? And so
brought you an apple.
I can't. I got bad teeth.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
So earlier today, I was sitting on I had these little like Cheeto fries kind of thing that I got from Salvation Army because they come out here in the food truck. And I went outside and sat on the bench. Well, before that, Danny was talking to Tennessee. Said, "I'll talk to you later about this or something, whatever it was." She was sitting on the other side. Another one was sitting on the other side of her. And Danny got up. I sat down. That's when Tennessee started mouthing at me and says, "I don't want to talk to you. I told you that yesterday." I said, "I wasn't trying to talk to you. You talked to me first." And so I started calling her all kinds of, I call her, fat ass, because I was like, "Why, you got 2 degrees and you're working at McDonald's?"
Who's her?
Carrie.
Okay.
The one that I showed you, that's in that picture I sent you.
Okay, and is she a staff member here?
No, she's the same as like I am.
So who was it that kicked you out?
Charles and Bert. They both. Well, reason why I got Bert in trouble because he wasn't doing his job.
How'd you get him in trouble?
I reported to Kim about how he called me a snitch, all this kind of stuff, and I was like, so I called this other person and I told him, I was like, because they said, well, if he keeps doing that, just say, well, don't give me a reason to.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have to. Well, the staff in the office, they'll sit there, especially Bert, will watch like a computer screen. I don't know what he watches, but he has his phone. He's watching that, not even watching the camera. What's going on? People are up throughout the night, pacing back and forth to each other's unit. I'm trying to sleep, and so to avoid trying to get those. I try to put my music up just to see kind of, because it helps me sleep though too. Well, they want to complain. Oh, it's quiet time. So I'm like, damn, what am I, and that I call that place over there. It's like a prison camp, a concentration camp.
So what time did you get kicked out?
It was about a little after dinner time, because they don't bring food from the shelter till almost about 5, but dinner don't start till 6.
So it was a little after that, but quiet time hadn't started. How did you get kicked out then?
Well, because they said I threatened. Because she told us, I guess, and then staff said, "Oh, did you threaten to go in her unit?" I'm like, "No, I did not." I was like, I didn't do, and all I did was more verbal, not no. And then Tennessee shoves me as I was walking away from the whole problem, like I did. And I told him, I told him, I said, "At least I'm not no drunk, I've been over 10 years of clean because my mom's sister killed himself over it."
What's the other side of the story that they're going to try to tell?
They're going to try to do everything they can to, just to blame somebody. I think what it was is because he got trouble by another higher up staff from him.
Okay.
Because
are they working right now? Is they the two that's working right now?
Well, as far as I know, Charles, Bert, and I think there's like 2, I think 3, I don't know who's all over there. All I know is it's Charles and Bert.
Okay.
Because Bert comes in at, I think, about 4 or a little after that.
Okay.
And so.
Is this where you're planning on staying tonight?
I just come here so that way I'm not out in the open, and I'm using Wi-Fi because I don't have service on my phone, so I'm using the connection from over there.
Well, where are you going to stay tonight?
I don't know. I don't get, I trying to get, to where I can get into a place, but they're not doing nothing. They're more worried about helping other people with more severe problems than in helping somebody that's trying to do is, to get into a place.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. What would you think about me turning on a camera and us walking down there and see if we can't negotiate to get you back in there?
James is the one that they called him, and I'm not supposed to be over there. I can't even be near it.
You can't. No, you can be out on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just.
Ain't nothing they can do about that. This is wrong. They told me not to be over there, or else I go to, because then they'll get me for going to jail. Okay. Do you have any warrants or anything? No. Okay. You can be out on this sidewalk, and there is no crime. They cannot trespass you from that sidewalk.
I know they can't, because it's city sidewalk.
Right.
It's public sidewalk.
Right.
Anybody can just sit,
Right.
But they'll try to do everything they can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to go down there and be a pain in their ass for a little while.
I'll stay down here.
Okay. Turn off your light. Yeah, that way they don't notice you here. I'm gonna go down and be a little pain in the ass a little while and see if I can get the cops called out here.
Okay, I'll turn it off.
And then we'll discuss this with the cops and see what they want to do about it.
Well, the one that I think you talked to, I see one of the videos. You were at some place, I guess, and you said, why isn't the or something blocked off with some type of tape?
Oh, that was Welch. You talking about Welch?
That was him. He's the one.
He's a little dirt ass man.
He's the one, but he wasn't really bad though to me, but
Yeah.
I think he was taking more of their side than.
And is he the one that made you leave?
All 3 of them did.
The police were there and made you leave and everything?
There's 3 of them.
And what did the police say about it?
I guess. They said that, well, they gave you a 24-hour ban, you can come back tomorrow or something. That's just so that's what the officer told me, and I didn't want to go to jail, so, because then I lose my disability, they should cut it off as soon as I go inside that jail.
You sure you don't want this to happen?
I'm good.
All right. I'm going to go down here and talk to these guys.
I've been drinking off of that.
Okay. I
don't have no water, so if I run out, I'd have to ride my bike, but I ain't got no lights.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm sitting over here and off the way and kind of,
Yeah, I'm going to go down here and make a little video and talk a little bit and see what they want to do. It's what I do,
Yeah, I know.
All right, guys, it's Monday night, and very disappointed. I was at home, just kind of chilling out. I got a phone call. Fellow had been banned from out here tonight, and yeah, I'm not even sure how this works. Hey, you got staff member outside here? You got staff? Are you staff? Hey, I'm Michael. Need to figure out something, what's going on. You got somebody camped out outside here. Well, apparently somebody's been ejected out of here and they're hanging out outside here. And I'm kind of curious how the neighborhood's going to feel about that. So I think that nobody here wants to do anything about that. I don't know who this guy is. Hey, you guys are just gonna close the door and act like people don't exist? That's rude, man. Okay, that's fine. So, guys, what's happened tonight is this place has apparently decided that it's appropriate to just throw people out of their houses whenever they want. And this is the kind of shit that is a problem. Now, I guarantee that my attorney isn't going to like hearing that they're just throwing people out of their houses on a whim. This is not cool. And they're ejecting them without a process. They're just making them leave. There's no process or anything. So this isn't acceptable. All right, guys, tonight we're out in front of the Pallet shelter because what's happening here is we've got a fellow that's been kicked out of here tonight. They actually had police come and tell him to leave at the behest of the staff that's here. Now, there's no process to this. There's no second guessing to it at all. It's just get the hell out and you don't have a place to stay tonight. Now, I don't know what the standard of the law is as far as a agreement and a landlord-tenant situation, but what they're doing in here is they're expecting people to sign away constitutional rights in order to live here, and then they're treating that agreement as though it's a one-sided thing that they can just be thrown out anytime staff chooses. And I'm afraid the only way that anything is going to change about that is we're going to have to do a challenge. I don't know if you can help challenge this, but it would be helpful if we could. I have audio talking to the guy that got kicked out of here. It's more of a verbal situation than anything else. And the staff is known not to be able to de-escalate anything. And they basically resort to police handling everything for them instead of practicing behavioral and de-escalation skills. But in any case, if there's a landlord agreement or a landlord-tenant situation here to pursue, that would be freaking awesome. Because there's a guy about a half a block up the street here just hanging out here wondering where he's going to stay tonight. And he had a cabin in here last night. It's Monday, July 10th. We're coming to you from outside the Pallet Village at 256 North Michigan. And the reason we're out here tonight is the staff here has summarily trespassed or evicted someone overnight. They're not allowed to be here for 24 hours apparently. Now the difficulty that we have with that is there is a side agreement that they're forcing people to sign here, and we have issues with that side agreement. Nonetheless, that is an agreement, and there are some rights that come with that, and this is a residential situation. And basically what's happening is staff at a whim and without much process can just have somebody ejected out of here and put them on the streets overnight.
That is not a solution to homelessness. And that's not a solution to the problem here in Lawrence. What you're doing is exacerbating the problem by doing that. And it's not acceptable. Guys, this is your Pallet Village in Lawrence. And the neighborhood is the ones that's going to deal with this. The neighborhood and the city.
Dispatch.
Hey, is there any way you could have an officer respond to talk to us up here on North Michigan?
Where are you at on North Michigan?
Just north of the Pallet. Probably 260 North Michigan. 260, 280 somewhere. I don't know. We're just north of the Pallet on one of these little inlets. This is Michael. I'm out here with a homeless person.
Give me just one second here. So are you on North Michigan?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a mailbox right here. Let me see if there's an address on it.
Yeah.
How about 300? We're at the mailbox for 300 North Michigan.
Are you at the 300 block in North Michigan?
Yeah, we're right at the mailbox for 300 North Michigan.
I didn't see those mailboxes.
Yeah, I didn't see them either.
It's hard to see.
Okay, what's a good callback number for you?
785-691-8760, but if you could have somebody respond in person, that would be better.
Yeah, I just needed your callback number in case we get disconnected. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We don't have any kind of thing happening. We need to talk to an officer about a situation. We got a homeless.
What do you need to speak to an officer about?
We got a homeless person ejected from Pallet, and what options are we going to have here? And the ejection itself is a little faulty, and we got a situation here that needs a good person to step in and help find a solution.
Okay, I understand that. I can have an officer head out that way, but what is the situation?
I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm asking you guys for help for a situation here that we've got a homeless person that's been ejected from the Pallet Village under questionable circumstances, and now they have no place to go out here, and we're trying to figure out a solution for what they can do. So
okay, so are you wanting to I just want to give me just one second here while I put some notes on the call, okay?
Sure.
I think that's the street department starting right there. That could be them.
It's probably that house there, because that's the even side of the block is on that side, the even numbers.
Yeah, but there's four more.
Yeah.
So why did he get kicked out of the Pallet shelter?
Well, that's a little unclear, but if we could talk to the officer, that'd be great.
I understand that, but I just need a little more information about what's going on so the officers have a better idea so they can help you.
Okay, well, we're unclear about how he's getting kicked out of the Pallet shelter and being left on the street with little options. And apparently there was an allegation made, and Pallet staff, these low-level staff members, have summarily decided who they're going to believe, and they kick somebody out. And we need somebody good in the community to step up and figure out a solution to this that's better than putting somebody out on the street at night.
Okay, and are you there on foot or are you in a vehicle?
I'm on foot.
And how do you know this person?
And this is Michael. I'm one of the homeless advocates.
Okay, and can I get your name?
My name's Michael.
The last name?
I'm just asking for an officer to come out.
Okay, it does look like we have an officer on the way. If anything changes, give us a call back.
Thank you. Hey, who's that?
This is Officer Nesman. How's it going?
So, did you get filled in on why he's trespassed from out of here?
I have no idea.
So it seems like
he wasn't here. It was
right, but I mean the dispatcher was asking me all these questions like you guys were doing a lot of background, so you have no idea of anything? You just sent out here blind?
All I know is there's someone that was staying there, got removed, and they want to talk about it.
Okay. So what plan do we have for people? And I guess before I get to that, these folks sign an agreement to be in there, and they're being summarily just thrown out.
Well, I guess, what'd you get thrown out for, man?
Okay. I was telling the officer that, you know.
He's already explained it all to me, so let me just summarize it for you to save us a lot of time. It's back and forth banter between people, and basically what he said to somebody in a back and forth thing was, don't go to sleep tonight. Okay, and we're in a situation where they're behind individual locked doors. It's not a true threat. It's not something that's going to stand up in court as a true threat to get a PFA or something like that. So what's going on here is and number one, that's if the true threat was even valid, but what we have here is a situation, he's described a lot of different stuff to me, and I've been hearing the same thing, but what we have is a situation where these guys are signing an agreement here to stay there, and I would hope that you guys can realize some landlord-tenant issues here. They have tenancy in there by that agreement. And so when you just shove a guy out on the street like this, that's kind of an issue, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the specifics are. I don't know what the contract says or anything like that. I'd imagine it's similar to how the shelter out east works, because they kind of run the same operation. As far as I know, they're attached to them. So, like I said, I don't know what the ins and outs are.
Okay, these guys are assigned individual cabins. Is there somebody staying in your cabin tonight?
I'm the only one that has access key.
He's the only one that has the access key to it.
But the staff has a master key. They can get in any unit
he's assigned an individual cabin in there. It's not like it's an open room shelter or a community building situation. This is a real quandary that we're in right now, because we have a situation where he's been thrown out with no real process. His argument was that they didn't believe him, and they didn't believe his intent. They didn't believe anything he explained. They just took what people said and threw him out. That's not process. That's not due process, especially when you're talking about a domicile, a place where somebody stays. And the end result is he's out here on the street tonight. So now I'm going to ask, what is our community going to do to resolve this situation right now?
I mean, that's a question for the community. I mean,
okay, so you're the community representative out here tonight. What kind of solutions can you guys bring to the table to solve this problem tonight? Because the reality is we have a de-escalation issue in there. They can't seem to de-escalate. Instead, they resort to the legal avenues, and I'm sure you guys are getting tired of having to come out here and do all this bullshit too.
Well, I mean, places like this,
I get it.
Never been able to de-escalate. It's an ongoing social issue there. I mean, it's more not to put the blame on the people, but it's people can't get along when they come from different backgrounds and stuff. I don't know why you got in the argument with the guy, but it's just like out east when we have the cold weather shelter. It's when a bunch of people are together, they tend to get into arguments.
I don't bother nobody. When I go on my unit, I'm a hermit.
I can tell you,
I have to use those Hawaiian punch bottles just to pee in, just to avoid conflict of anything.
Do they not have bathrooms in
They do.
They do.
But every time when I was telling Mike that when I go wash my bowls and or wash my cloth, Charles that works there would come over there because I turned off the light, and he said, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Well, those lights that they got in there track mosquitoes." And I'm sitting there going like, "Dad, I'm getting ate up like with dozens of them in there flying around."
Hyper controlling, very.
And so that's what started most of it, and then it just escalated even more. Now Bert called me a snitch yesterday because he wasn't doing his job. He's always on his phone,
This is a staff member he made a complaint
not paying
about.
attention to the cameras.
And so now the staff member calls him a snitch.
And
this is what goes on in here.
And people walk around all throughout the night, keeping people up. Basically, I'll put it as like tweakers, if you would want to call it. Sure. And all up on night, they'd be over there over there, you know, being all loud. And quiet time is from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I'd be in my unit, and this is yesterday night, that she was sitting on the bench watching something on her phone so loud I could hear it, and I was already halfway asleep and then she'd do that on up and down volume because I heard it, and I didn't have no window AC on, no fans or nothing, no music going, and I could hear it.
But what this boils down to is we have some interpersonal conflict in a place where that's to be expected. And instead of working to resolve that, we throw somebody out. That can't be our solution. And what resources can you call now to get this man a place to stay for tonight or something other than sitting out on this sidewalk waiting 24 hours until he can get back in there to his house?
I mean, the sad reality is there's not really many resources we could call. The shelter closes at 10. There's no other community shelters open right now. I can drive you somewhere that's well lit or something like that, but
I ain't got no money.
And that, I mean,
can't just sit anywhere either.
Well, that falls back, you know, on the city needing more places too. You know, we just don't have anywhere to take people. You know what I mean?
So wherever he's at tonight, he's basically going to be breaking a law.
What law would that be?
Well, I mean, what laws are? I mean, where are you allowed to be right now? Where's he allowed to be?
Any public space. I mean,
if he lays down and falls asleep here, who's going to come bother him and make him leave?
I'd imagine not a police officer.
Are we positive that there's nobody that's going to? I mean, he's not going to be like if he wants to lay down somewhere and get some sleep. Where's that going to be safe to do? Because I hear those calls where somebody's sleeping in just an empty park in the middle of the night, and somebody gets a call, or somebody's sleeping in a bus stop, and somebody gets that call, and next thing I know, I hear somebody going to jail, or somebody getting cited and stuff. And so I'm wanting a firm from the officer. Where can he be tonight where it's not going to be an issue?
Well, you can be anywhere in public that's not a park, because the park has hours. Other than that, I mean, on the streets is fine. They're starting to crack down on camping in front of
well, they're not.
Downtown.
I heard that no camping anywhere.
Well, see, and what I've heard is that if you even sit down and fall asleep on some steps, you can be accused of vagrancy and camping and whatever.
So it mostly boils down to the downtown area, but I mean, we got people sleeping on corners everywhere. And it's a thing where if someone calls us, we'll check on you. If it's a place where you can't be, then we have to address that. It's like when people call in parking violations.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Where is a specific place that he can be?
A specific place could be any corner you want to be, any field. I'm telling you, as long as it's not a park or in front of a storefront downtown, there's thousands of places. You know what I mean?
In front of a storefront. Well, see, that's on the sidewalk in front of a storefront.
In front of the like within the entryway of a place of business downtown.
Huh.
So, I mean, there's no good answer for where you gotta go, man. I mean, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
It sucks. I truly do feel for you, and it sucks that you got kicked out of there. I don't know what more to tell you. You know what I mean?
So there's nothing that the police department can do to go in there and say, hey, this really isn't right what's happening here. You can't just take somebody and throw them out of their house like this.
I mean, if you want to compare it to, tenant landlord laws, I mean, even then that's a civil issue. It would be a thing where if you wanted to sue them in court or something like that, you could do that. I'm not going to be able to go in there and force them to give you the place back.
So let me ask you just a real quick random question, man. Mm-hmm. When you went to the academy and you swore your oath to be an officer, mm-hmm. was your oath to the Constitution?
Go ahead. It was to uphold the laws of the Constitution. It's in forefront now.
Well, I'm asking, did you swear an oath to the Constitution itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So with you swearing that oath to uphold the Constitution, okay, we have a couple constitutional violations happening here. I'll say alleged constitutional violations happening here. Mm-hmm. And I've done this round with a couple other law enforcement agencies here recently. Mm-hmm. We have a due process violation happening here, and then we have a Fourth Amendment happening here, because his tenancy has been seized away from him per the Fourth Amendment. And the 14th Amendment is the failure of the due process, equal protection, Sixth Amendment due process, 14th Amendment equal protection, because they're just taking somebody else's word over his without that process. Now, with those things in mind, and the fact that you swore to uphold the Constitution, wouldn't you think that maybe a quick read up, or maybe a 15-minute just look up on these things to refresh yourself, and then a discussion with them about some de-escalation skills to avoid these problems? Because here's what's going to happen, Nesmith. I mean, this is from me to you. I'm going to go help this man get an attorney, or I'm going to help the next one. So I'm going to find somebody that's going to take the case to sue here. Okay? And I've finally gotten the access to the attorneys to do this. I'm going to go find the attorney, and what it's going to do is it's going to end up taking tax money out of your pocket, and it's going to take police money out of the budget. And personally, right now, with you, I'm if you guys swear to uphold the Constitution, you got to uphold everybody's rights.
Yeah.
Okay, we have some violations happening here. You can't just throw somebody out of their house, man. Think about that. Think about that.
The government cannot.
No, the government can't. I dare you to come to my house and throw me out. You're the government.
That's what I'm saying. The government cannot.
Right. You're the government.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. And LCS, for all intents and purposes, is the government, because they are county and city funded. A majority county and city funded.
Yeah, they're funded, but they're their own thing.
They're their own thing. However, that funding comes with the government ties on constitutional rights, and I think you're aware of this. That tie makes them constitutionally liable.
I'd argue that's a civil matter.
Okay, it may be a civil matter, but
if it's a civil matter, then I can't.
It may be a civil matter on the judgment of going to court, but the reality is it's a constitutional issue, and if you swore an oath to the Constitution, then it really should be something that you'd at least try to work out. That you'd at least try to go in there and say, hey, we've got to...
Are you asking me right now to go over there and ask them to let him back in?
Yes.
Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to go over there and just make a faint effort. I want you to go over there and convince those people that what's going on out here isn't right, and that they need to just let the guy go in his place and go to sleep tonight, and whatever adjudication needs to happen tomorrow or the next day, if we want to have a hearing and have a full disclosure thing, and let's get all of it out and let him tell his side and have it properly adjudicated, that'd be great. We can do that. But just summarily throwing somebody out of their house is not cool, and it's a constitutional violation. I don't want you to go over there and just do the half-hearted, go through the motions just because you're out of earshot of us. Go in there and do the community a service and try to tell them what they're doing is wrong and get them to de-escalate rather than just doing this. Because I'm going to make this a community concern either way.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I'm hoping that we can avoid the long-term aspects of this.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go talk to him.
Okay, thank you.
What was your name, man?
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan. What's your last name?
Shirkan.
What was it?
Shirkan.
Shakan. Okay.
Everything's totally cool, and make sure they know that. We're not trying to be hard, but we just want him to have a place to stay tonight.
Xavier knows who I am.
Xavier's over there. He knows him.
He knows me well enough.
What do you think of that?
I don't think he...
We'll see if he gets it.
I don't think he's going to do like what he said. He might just go over there, but they're going to just make some sob stories. Oh, it's you know, but they're applying rules that ain't even the rules, like they did the shelter. You know, they changed rules, and it's not even, you know, what the paperwork says.
So I'm going to walk down there and video. Okay, I'll be back.
Alright, so it appears as though the officer, we got him convinced to at least maybe go make an effort to try. I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Doing it now. There. See.
Huh? No, he went inside.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him go in. I thought he went the other way.
Yeah, no, he went in.
I didn't even. Yeah, that's good right there. The 24-hour removal from here is going to stand. However, we got in touch with the shelter out east, and they are willing to take you for the night if you're willing to go there. And then whenever the 24 hours is up, you can come back here. Does that work for you? Yeah, but I don't like that place. That's why I left from there to come over here. Gotcha. That place is way worse than what it is here.
Well, it's a place to stay for tonight.
Only thing is I got my bike though. So I talked to them about that too. They said they would be willing to hold your bike, and I can give you a ride over there.
Here?
Yeah.
They'd let you hold your bike here. He can give you a ride to the shelter. And then in the morning, I'm sure there's a bus from the shelter, right, that comes over this way?
Oh yeah, there has to be.
Are they going to give him his bike back in the morning?
Yeah, they said they're totally willing to just hold on to it for you until you get back.
And he'll be able to get it back in the morning even if they don't let him back in?
I didn't ask that much, but I would imagine they would, because that would actually be criminal deprivation of property. That'd be an actual issue. So.
Okay.
I know they said 24 hours. So
well, what he's saying is they'll hold your bike here. That way it's not a problem. And then you go to the shelter tonight. Stay. At least you got a place to sleep tonight. You can get your head down and don't have to worry too much. Get up in the morning, work on this, and I'll work on my side too. And then you can come back up here, get your bike. And from what I'm understanding from Officer Nesmith is that they'll give you a bike in the morning, and if they don't give you your bike, that it might be a problem for him, what he said, criminal deprivation of property. So is that a decent solution for tonight? I just don't want you being out here on the streets, man.
I've been through this stuff.
I know, but
I've slept places. You know.
Well, come on now. I've been out here for an hour and a half helping work out something.
I mean, the unfortunate truth is at this point, it's your best bet for getting a roof over your head.
I'm going to push on the other side anyway to get this stuff stopped so that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this should be happening. I think other people are going to agree too. But let's get tonight solved. Can we do that?
If they do lock that, they'd have to put it in the unit I'm in.
Yep.
Because that's on whatever they'll do. I've seen the bike. They'll know that it's your bike.
Yep.
They'll keep it safe. Yeah, but it's got easy release tire or rims, and people are known to take things off people's bikes or just sitting there. Well, I don't trust. I mean, they have.
Here, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. I'll take your bike, and I'll bring it out to the shelter tomorrow. How's that go? I'll bring it out to the shelter in the morning. Boom. Problem solved.
If you have enough way to do it, though.
Huh?
If you have a way to do it.
Yeah, my car's parked over here.
I just don't want them, because then if they do, because they probably won't put it back in my unit.
Nope, that's all right. I'll take your bike.
Put it on the bike rack, and then I got a bike lock, so.
Do you got a lock on it right now?
No, it's
okay.
The lock deal's inside my chain lock for it.
Okay.
It's in my pocket.
How about I take your bike, let Officer Nesmith give you a ride to the shelter real quick, and then I'll bring your shelter out or your bike out in the morning, and then we'll figure out whatever's going on from there.
I guess.
Is that a good plan?
I guess it'll have to. I guess.
All right. I think that's what we're going to do for tonight. At least we got tonight solved.
Yeah.
And let's figure out tomorrow when we get there, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right. Do you want your water there? Yep. All right.
Turned that light on it.
Oh yeah.
I was like lost my balance because I saw it flashed twice. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
hey.
You need them bright.
Hey, pass the word up, see if we can get something done to resolve this overall issue.
Sure. Did you want me?
You good?
Yeah, we'll go to my car. Yeah.
You don't have handcuffs this time. Don't worry about it. Thanks, guys.
Information to you.
Ma'am,
Which I'm supposed to have an ROI
he told
for.
me in a text that you were his case manager. So now where are we at?
I still am supposed to have an ROI.
Okay, that's all good. I'm happy for that, but you're not releasing information to me. He asked me to let you know what happened up there on North Michigan Street.
Right.
And you're making this into a big clinical thing, taking up a bunch of valuable time out of my day when I'm just trying to help.
And I am offering to do it at a different
So-
time that is more convenient for you. And you're saying no. And you're saying you don't understand it. I am offering to explain it. You are saying don't explain
The
it.
passive aggressiveness, do you understand how the passive aggressiveness, you see how now we're all of a sudden,
to do it, so it's not even up to us. Like our supervisor instructed us to get a release of information.
I understand
That's as far as it goes for us.
But see, you're doing the passive aggressive, here's how it is, and now you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this. So,
Hey, excuse me guys, I'm Ann Elfritz. Can I help? Would you like to come back and chat with me?
no, I'm not coming behind that door. I'm waiting on a call back from Patrick Smits.
Okay, so,
I don't trust you guys, that's why I'm not coming behind that door.
my question is then, how are you helping one of our clients?
I was asked to help.
Okay, so
Okay.
these guys are doing their job. We actually
Okay.
have to, according to federal law, protect
Okay.
information about you because it's your information. And so Diane is
I got you.
correct in saying we actually do need your written permission to share information with him because that's federal law.
And
That's
as
not
I
our
tried to
national law.
explain to her, I don't need you to release information to me.
But we
I
already
was-
have.
You haven't.
We have. But presence in treatment is part of what we protect. So if somebody were to call here and say, hey, Ann, is Sally down there?
She's a witness to what
I
happened
didn't
last
ask
night.
anybody if anybody was a client. I
Right.
didn't need anybody
But
to
you're
tell me
here in our law
that anybody was a
enforcement.
client because he had already told me that Diane Elder was his case manager.
Okay, but he can release his information all day.
Thank you. And he
can.
already
He
did.
can. But-
So you
but
see,
once
there's
you're
no
in our
information
service lo-
released.
But once you're in our service location, out of respect for our client and to follow the law, we have to actually get your permission to
And that's
chat
why I
with
won't
you.
go behind that door.
Okay.
Is because now we've got all this extra stuff, guys. He
This
asked
is not
me,
extra. This is us
listen,
following federal
listen,
law. This is not extra.
he asked me to come explain what happened last night.
And you are welcome here. You are more
No,
than
I
welcome
don't feel
here.
very welcome
We just need to
There is
do
a
things-
passive aggressive attitude in here that I'm not going to put up with.
I'm not sure what you mean. We are doing what we
I'm not
always
sure what you see. That's the thing. As soon as you take a stand, I'm not sure what you
I
mean.
really
We're
am not
asking
sure
for
what you
clarification.
mean.
Actually,
Clarification.
We can't change
I
what
came
we're doing
in
if
to
you don't
give
us
information, not
specifics.
to get information.
Okay, and
So that means when somebody comes walking in the door and they want
Can
to
I
give
show
you
him
some
a release?
information,
Let me
I
show you
don't
this. I
care
just want
about
to
the
show you.
release.
So,
Guys, this has
and you-
become less about that release and more about that 45 minutes I've taken here
You're
today,
welcome
trying to help.
here.
Actually,
You're
Jonathan, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to get out of here because these people are really stressing me out. I'm gonna go next door.
You're
and talk
welcome to call
Patrick.
me back.
I'm not
Ann.
interested in talking.
Well, I
Because
would
the
like for
passive
you to
aggressive
feel
stuff.
trust, and I'd like you to feel that you were
Ma'am,
able to help your friend.
The problem is I came in here to give information, not get information. And I don't care about a release. I don't need my name documented in your records.
Your name won't be documented.
My name is gonna be on a piece of paper in
so
your...
that we can talk
You guys,
to you
do you not
safely
understand?
and
How come
fairly.
I don't want you to talk to me safely and fairly? I want to give the information that I have to provide about what happened last
Okay,
night, and
so-
then I would like to move on with my fucking fucking day.
Okay, so I will basically document that you refuse to sign a release. I don't know what else to do.
I am not going to sign anything.
Excuse me, that you refused to give us your name so that we could do a release.
Why do we need a release?
It's federal law.
Why do we need a release for me to give you information?
See, but we have disclosed his presence in treatment. You are here at the treatment provider.
He invited me here. He asked me to come in here, and he did all that himself.
That's okay. Support systems to come with
That's
them.
Okay, but this right now, what we're doing is a bunch of mess that doesn't need to be here because you are not going to be giving me any information
We already
at all.
have.
Guys, I'm done here.
Okay, have a nice day.
No, you guys. Fucking shit, you guys are fucking frustrating.